Dragon Lotus Garden. A Punch Girl Short Story by J.M. Riley. Chapter 1. Alec's Honda bumps across the cracked asphalt parking lot and nestles into a spot nowhere near Lotus Garden Inn. From the passenger seat, Jess blinks. "I thought we were going to Dragon Garden Palace Lotus Szechuan Panda." "You forgot Golden." "We are," Alec says, pointing. "It's emptier down here, and we are both able-bodied, so it won't kill us to walk 10 extra feet." Jess checks the distance through the passenger window. "It's 50 extra feet at least." "There were no spots over there." "You could have waited." "We're parked. I'm hungry. Let's go." Alec exits the vehicle, and Jess joins him on the sidewalk fronting the shoulder-to-shoulder strip mall shops. They pass by a dry cleaner, a liquor store, and a bath and body shop on their way to the restaurant, which sits beside the Rose Anchor store, a neon-bright, iron-barred 7-Eleven. At the restaurant door, Alec pauses to allow Jess to enter first, but she trails behind, staring at a parking space. She flicks a glance at Alec and says, "Right in front." "They left after we parked." "It's not a big deal. You just settled." "I can live with that," Alec says. "You'll have to. It's a personal loss for you, not me. I'm not a settler. Maybe in marriage, time will tell." Alec chuckles. "Keep it up. You and your audience of one can settle for eating at your own table." Jess enters the restaurant behind Alec, ignoring the clanging bell mounted on the door, and nods a smile at the hostess, who offers them any table in the restaurant. A family with 2 small children seated in high chairs chatters near the wall, but the rest of the space belongs to the Bombs. Jess and Alec eat here often, and the staff recognize them, so they dropped the formalities long ago. A corner table on the left, away from the kitchen and bathroom doors, and as far as possible from the fussing family calls to Jess and Alec, and they walk to it and sit. Along the way, they pass by black lacquered tabletops propped on wobbly legs and inlaid with dramatic artwork featuring dragons and pagodas on misty landscapes. Red and gold décor drips around them, representing various Asian cultures and dynasties, suggesting the owner bought his restaurant decorations at a Chinatown garage sale. The customers get it, though. Lotus Garden Inn is no one's favorite. It runs on thin margins, where good is good enough. It makes its money on the lunch trade. Quick, cheap specials for hurried office workers on the clock. Between 11:30 and 1:30 on weekdays, customers surge through the door like a rising and receding tide. Outside those hours, almost nothing. A family can eat here without disturbing other diners or breaking the bank, and couples seeking good enough with friendly service and no wait can stroll in like VIPs and exit within 45 minutes. The establishment was also smart enough to use one of the 7 magic words, so it's not going anywhere. Every successful Chinese restaurant uses one of the 7 magic words or risks closing: Dragon, Palace, Lotus, Panda, Garden, Golden, and Szechuan. 7 words used alone or in combinations: Golden, Panda, Panda Garden, Szechuan Dragon, Palace Inn. 1 word is enough, but a restaurant must use 1 or perish. Alec didn't make the rule, but he noticed the prevalence of certain words, and together he and Jess added to the list, finalizing it at 7. Lotus Garden Inn has made its offering, and it will have no quarrel with the restaurant gods. Alec and Jess sit across the corner of a square table, and the trailing hostess leaves them with menus. Jess flips hers open and says, "How hungry are you?" "Ish. If there are leftovers, I can take them for lunch." "So we're not splitting?" Alec's eyes rise from his menu. "It depends on what you want. You eat gross stuff sometimes. I don't want to split that." "Uh-huh," says the man who ate a dog biscuit. "When I was 11, on a dare." "Well, it's on your permanent record." Jessica points to herself and Alec. 0 dog biscuits, 1 dog biscuit. "Okay, not only are we not sharing a dinner, I'm not sharing anything with you ever again." "That doesn't make it any less true." Mr. Wu, the owner, strolls over, ending the conversation before it can escalate. Wu's extra-wide grin and over-white teeth top a shiny emerald-green suit with vest, ornate paisley tie tacked with a gold pin, and imitation crocodile shoes in clay-colored orange. His image forces smiles onto his customers' faces, and Alec has often wondered whether Mr. Wu is crazy or a genius. Jess pointed out it could be both. Wu places active hands on Alec's and Jess's shoulders, massaging, and he leans between them, oozing charm. "How is my favorite Mr. and Mrs. America newlywed couple?" Alec endures the brief rubdown and says, "We've been married for a few years, Wu." "A few years? That is still newlywed. Mrs. Wu and I have been married 41 years. We are still newlyweds. That is the secret." It's a good secret, and Alec shifts the Wu meter toward genius. "I have a special new lizard appetizer. You should try it." "Lizard?" Jess says. "Lizard or iguana? Skink? I'll check." "It's okay. We weren't that hungry." "On the house. New dish for my best customers." The bell over the door chimes and all eyes shift across the room. The door opens so seldom at night that any new patron attracts attention, like new characters stepping into a stage play. An elderly couple, dressed for dinner in a sport coat and tie, and she in a dress and heels enters and speaks to the hostess. The man's stooped posture and the woman's gray perm show their age, but their animated movements reveal lingering youth. Alec places the couple in their 70s, and he watches them survey the restaurant, confer with the hostess, and huddle with each other. Something is wrong. Whatever they expected, this isn't it. Wu saunters across the room, smoothing his tie and tugging his shirt cuffs to reveal sparkling cufflinks, and greets his guests. He listens for a moment with a hand placed on each of them, and within seconds, he steps back in agony. Alec lowers his voice and leans toward Jess. "What are they saying?" "How would I know?" "Don't give me that Miss Innocent routine. You're eavesdropping." "I think they're in the wrong place." Jess lowers her head, points an ear at the hostess stand, and focuses on her hearing. "Where were they trying to go?" After a few moments, Jess says they had a reservation, which is obviously not a problem. "It's their anniversary?" Jess says. "So they made a reservation here? Why?" Jess's head turns to Alec. "Maybe if you were quieter, I could hear." Alec pantomimes, zipping his lips, and Jess refocuses. Across the room, Wu gestures at the restaurant, his arms flailing as the couple shrink from his energy. "What's Wu saying?" Jess closes her eyes and leans. Alec says, "Whatever he's saying, he's blowing it. How could they have a reservation and let Wu talk them out of it, especially if it's an anniversary?" Jess's stony eyes bore into Alec. "What?" Jess mimics Alec's lip-zipping pantomime. "What happened to being quiet?" "Well, you're not telling me anything." "Because you are talking." Alec nods. "I'm going over." Jess's talon fingers clamp Alec's arm. "What do you mean?" "I'm going to find out what's going on." "No, you're not. You're staying here and minding your business." "You don't want to help Wu out?" Jess glances past Alec and back. "Wu doesn't need our help. If he does, he'll ask. By then, the people could be gone." "So, what difference does it make? 2 customers more or less won't break Panda Palace Garden." "If they leave, you'll never know what happened." "I'm fine with that. Wu can tell us if it's so interesting." "No, he's all weird and scattered." The couple lean toward the door, and Alec stands. "I'm going." "What are you going to say?" "I'll be cool. What are you worried about?" "You being cool?" "Haha." Alec crosses the room and leans past Wu and the couple to speak with the hostess. She hands him 2 sets of chopsticks, and he pauses on the way back to clap Wu on the shoulder and laugh the world's phoniest laugh. Jess's neck tightens and her lips press together, cringing at Alec's casual version of coolness. His focus shifts from Wu to the couple, and he speaks for a moment and listens for several more, nodding sympathy. When he speaks again, he points to Jess, and 4 expectant faces beam at her. She forces a grin and waves, tallying how much Alec owes her. He speaks to the couple again, and a few moments later, he waves Jess over. She has no choice, so she stands, unclenches her fists and back, and walks to the group. When she arrives, Alec introduces her, and the couple complete the ritual by presenting themselves as Harold and Rose Beeler, celebrants of 50 years of marriage. Alec says they thought they were reserving at Szechuan Palace Inn, not Lotus Garden Inn. Jessica squints. Szechuan Inn downtown or Szechuan Palace Inn? Is there a difference? Yeah. Szechuan Inn has a Michelin star. I assume there's 10 Szechuan palaces around town, all with buffets and no awards. Rose points a bobbing finger at Jess. It's that one, the nice one. Wu wilts at the comparison, but his smile holds. Harold says, if you wanted to go to that one, why didn't you reserve a table at that one? I thought I had. Rose's confusion mirrors the 7 magic words joke. All the restaurants sound the same. It's why Alec finds it funny. He says, if Szechuan Inn is as nice as you say, I doubt you can get in there tonight. I made the reservation months ago, like people said to. Harold rubs his chin and stares at his wife. I'm sorry, Rose says. It was an accident. Everyone is coming. You realize that. They're all coming to celebrate. Here. Harold's gesture encompasses the entire humble restaurant, from the linoleum floors to the vinyl booths to the buzzing exit sign over the bathroom door. Wu swells and opens his arms. Marriage is very important. I have been married for 41 years, and I treat my wife like a princess, even today. I will do the same for you on this special night. I'm sorry, no offense, but we're not staying. Rose says, where are we going to go? Somewhere else. The kids are meeting us here, Harold. Then we will meet them outside and leave. Let's go. Harold takes Rose's arm, and the couple turn. I apologize for the confusion. You should stay, Alec says. Jess scowls. What are you doing? They should stay. This is a great restaurant. No, it isn't. Well, it's a good restaurant. It's available and they're already here. You should stay out of it. Harold points at Jessica and says, I agree with her. Rose's mess up is none of your business. Jess hesitates. Poor Rose will live with this error for the rest of her life. She says, she said it was an accident. Some accident. Maybe she'll get it right for our 60th. Come on, Rose. No. No. What's that? You're not going out like that. You're staying. Excuse me? You heard me. Alec is right. He's nosy and he's dopey, but he's right. You're here, your family is coming, and this is our favorite restaurant. I don't think so, Alec says. Is it? We come here more than we go to any other restaurant by far. I eat a lot of Subway. Where else do we know the owner? Alec pauses. Exactly. Wu is a friend. Let's make this into a happy accident. Alec narrows his eyes at Jess. I thought you didn't want to get involved. Jess rubs the back of her neck. If I were Harold and you were Rose, I would bash you with this forever. If possible, I would like for Rose not to have to endure that. Rose says, that's not a problem. That's not how we... Rose, I would like to believe you, but I don't. Trust me, Harold is pissed. You want to fix this now if you can. Wu steps in and says, you will have a magical night. Let me create your dream anniversary for you and your queen. Harold and Rose stand like statues, staring at Wu's exuberant smile. Time slows and stops for 15 seconds until Harold grunts and says, we'll wait inside for everyone to come and we'll see what they want to do. There you go, Harry, Alec says. Harold. Harold. Alec bounds to the center of the room. Look, we can pull these tables together and create a banquet top. Jess says, Alec, we're done now. Let Mr. Wu crash. A table leg snags on the floor as Alec scoots it, toppling the piece and the chair beside it. Several sauce jars shatter, and dark soy pools with the brighter liquids on the floor. Alec studies his modern artwork and says, "You're right. Wu can take it from here." On cue, the first of Harold and Rose's family arrive, and they wear their confusion and disappointment in plain sight. All eyes turn to Alec, the star in the middle of the room. Chapter 2. Raised voices in the kitchen send several servers rushing into the dining room, herded by Wu, flapping and speaking a torrent of Chinese. The restaurant employees surround the mess, reposition the table and chair, and within minutes disappear back through the swinging kitchen door. While Wu's employees correct Alec's mistake, Harold and Rose's adult son, daughter-in-law, and 2 grandchildren surround them, speaking in hushed voices. Alec hears a single word and steps forward, but Jess bars him with an arm across his chest. "You've done enough," she says. "I was trying to help." "I know, and you're falling victim to that urge again. Help me help you." The son is looking up Yelp reviews. Jess's eyes shift to the huddled family, and Harold's son points to his phone as Harold seats his glasses on his nose. Yelp is no more reliable than any opinion service, but Jess is in the marketing business, and she understands public motivation and manipulation more than most. Reviewers at large occupy 2 camps, the 5 stars and the 1 star. Within the first group, the 5-star reviewers split again. Some love the product or service so much that their joy compels them to speak out, and they form 20% of Happy Group 1. The other 80%, Happy Group 2, never leave reviews. Most have no Yelp account, but the vendor begs them for a review, shows the customer how to sign up, and even offers a discount for a 5-star. The negative reviewers act on their own, and they are an ornery bunch. The sheer effort of writing a negative review presents such a physical and psychic chore that most accept their disappointment in silence, leaving no review and speaking later with their wallets by choosing a rival vendor. Remaining are the bitter and the vindictive, and they leave poetic screeds of block text describing their suffering at the hands of whatever bakery or carpet cleaner victimized them. A few leave terse warnings with no explanation at all. Sucked. Beware. Never again. 1 star. In the world of online reviews, Lotus Garden Inn is a weakling on the playground. Bully bait, ripe for the plucking. Nothing about the restaurant produces enough excitement to spark a 5-star review, much less many 5-star reviews, and Mr. Wu would never ask. On the flip side of that coin, the place blossoms with details to nitpick. Outdated, rundown, mediocre. It's unfair, and Jess never cared, until now. If these people are Yelpers, they are leaving, and the disruption will ruin her dinner. Wu will spend the rest of the evening distracted and depressed, and while he won't blame Alec and Jess for not doing more, he will wonder. Future visits to his restaurant will include less FaceTime with him, tighter smiles, and more formality. Jess will dread seeing him, and she and Alec will stop coming. She wants to be wrong about that scenario, but she is not. Also, Alec seems to have gotten a bug up his butt about Harold and Rose. With an arm still blocking Alec's path, Jess says, "What are you going to say?" "That they should stay. We have to try." Alec describes to her the deterioration of their relationship with Wu as if he had read her mind. Jess shakes her head. "You've contaminated me. I wasn't like this before." "What are you talking about?" "Nothing. Go." Alec inserts himself into the huddled conversation and gets the curdled expressions of an unwanted cousin. He introduces himself and explains the unreliability of Yelp reviews along with his relationship to the restaurant, while searching for Wu, who has vanished. "Anyway, the whole place is yours. You can do whatever you want. Look." Alec finds a panel of light switches on the wall near the entrance and flips several of them, dropping the restaurant into near darkness. Across the gloom, he says, "See? Mood lighting. Romantic." The son says, "We can't see anything. How are we supposed to read our menus?" Boom! Candlelight. Alec shines his phone flashlight across the room, blinding his audience with the bright white beam. From the darkness, Jess says, "Alec, turn on the lights." Alec snaps the wall switches, and as the overhead lights flicker on, a mass of adults and children enter past him. From the gray-haired to the diapered riding on Mom's hip, they all wear the same expression, confusion. Several mumble that they thought this restaurant was closed. The dimmed lights added to the confusion, no doubt, but Alec keeps that tidbit to himself. The family crosses the room and gathers, greeting their parents and each other, and Alec follows, stopping beside Jess. She gives him a pat on the arm for his effort, and together they watch several generations reunite, rejoining to celebrate their roots with Harold and Rose. The conversation about the mistaken restaurant, the online reviews, and the logistics of relocating everyone runs another lap around the course, and after a few inaudible murmurs, all eyes turn to Alec. "What is he, an owner?" Alec says, "Sorry, what's your name?" The first son says, "Harry." "Harold Jr. See, Harold, I wasn't that far off in calling you Harry." Silent faces wait for more, and Jess nudges Alec. "Right. So Harry, I'm not an owner. I'm a customer and a friend of Mr. Wu's, who seems to have fled. That's all. I'm just trying to help out." "It seems like this matters to you. Why do you care?" "I just want you to have a good time. If you stay, I think you will." "You don't know us. We're not supposed to be here. We would never have fun at a place like this." "You might. We wouldn't. You should stay out of our family business and mind your own." Harry's aggressive energy matches his father's, and Jess's mouth starts before she can stop it. "A place like this? You don't know anything about this place." "Look around. I see enough to know my parents shouldn't be celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary here. I wouldn't bring my kids here for dumplings on a random Saturday. It's a dump. Wu busted his ass building this dump. He works 7 days a week, feeding thousands of people, and he never shows up without charm and a smile. You wanted to go to a real restaurant. Get over yourself. This is a real restaurant." "I'm jealous," Alec says. The words sweep the hot emotion from the room. The soft clatter of dishes from the kitchen percolates into the dining room, but no other sound crosses the space. "You asked why I care. That's why. I'm jealous. I look at you guys and I see all these generations. You're a living family tree standing right here, from Harold and Rose all the way down. All these people related, showing up, celebrating. It's amazing. I don't have that. Jess doesn't have it either. We have each other. That's it. Just us. Want to. What if in 50 years we had what you have? What if we could come here and surround ourselves with family? I would want that. I don't think we'll have it, though, so I'm trying to live through you guys a little. If I did ever get there, I would like to think I'd focus on my family and not on the meal. I would hope I wouldn't spoil it." "That would be my job," Jess says, interlacing her fingers through Alec's. Regardless of what the family decides, Alec stood up for Wu and himself. A brief silence leads to a family discussion. The yay voices outnumber the nays, and Alec squeezes Jess's hand. While Harold and Rose's family wrestles with their choices, Wu blasts through the kitchen door with a huge smile and an even bigger platter. He says, "How special! Skink appetizer for everyone." Alec drops Jess's hand. "Oh, Wu." Chapter 3. The mounded platter glistens in the overhead lights, and the contents shift with slippery sucking sounds as Wu sets the food on the table before the standing guests. Wu opens his arms at the black and purple mass of amphibian tubes and legs and says, "Please eat on the house." The lizard iguana skink delicacy presses the guests back like a physical barrier, and the children recoil, voicing their displeasure with a variety of ick and pained moaning sounds. The reaction tips the vote, and Harry and the others agree. They are leaving. As they gather their belongings and file toward the door, mumbling apologies, Harry's wife lingers, staring at the house special writhing on the platter. She leans and sniffs, and with pincer fingers plucks a morsel and eats it. She swallows and blinks at the platter for a moment before returning for a second sample. Her active eyes scan the nearby wall while she redirects her senses to her taste buds, and she grins. She turns to Wu and says, "This is the Szechuan crocodile platter." Wu's smile widens. "You like it?" "Everyone likes it. This is the dish that earned them a Michelin star. This is better, though. Spicier. Also not. Also more acidic." Harold and Rose's gathered family waits at the door. Harry says, "Dominique, what are we doing?" Dominique holds a finger up to her husband, but she studies Wu. "Where did you get the recipe?" "Me? Where did they?" Wu says. "Chef Huang worked for me. Here." "When?" "Long ago. He washed dishes for me. Now he is famous." Dominique tips her head at Wu, and Alec's repeated thought enters her head for the first time. Wu is crazy or a genius? She says, "Can you make shrimp skewers, chicken lollipops, and that sort of thing for the kids?" "I can make that. I can make special dumplings with prizes inside and fizzy umbrella drinks, too." "Can you dress this place up a little and make it seem like an anniversary? Anniversary prom, wedding, Christmas Eve, and 4th of July all in one." "No, not that. But if you can make some basic food in this, we're not going anywhere." Across the room, Harry says, "What do you mean? Mom and Dad are already in the car." While the family spreads the message and reverses their momentum, returning to the restaurant, Wu crosses to Alec and says, "I don't know what they want. Can you help?" Alec says, "Just make fried rice and basic stuff for the kids. Hold the spice." "Not the kitchen, out here. Can you help out here?" "How, like host?" "Yes, decorate, host. You could give another speech." Jess chuckles. "Yeah, Alec, give the keynote address at Harold and Rose's 50th anniversary dinner." Alec pales. "No, thank you. I'll do the rest, though, Wu. You go cook." "Thank you." Wu pats Alec's cheek and hustles for the kitchen, but before he can push through the door, crashing stops him. He turns and, along with everyone else, stares at Alec standing beside a toppled table, surrounded by a rainbow of shattered sauces. Alec says, "Can someone else move these goddamn tables?" A squad of servers sweeps in and repeats the quick cleanup from before, while Jess escorts Alec to the door. Outside, Alec follows Jess into the parking lot and says, "We can't leave." "We're not." Jess faces the strip mall and eyes the row of stores from the 7-Eleven to the dollar store at the far end. She points to each store and gives Alec instructions. Alec recoils and says, "How much is all this going to cost?" "Hopefully nothing. Play on their neighborly sense of community." "Oh, good. And if that doesn't work?" "Then they won't get any publicity." "Great. I'm sure they'll respond to that, whatever it means. Where are you going to be?" "Do you trust me?" "My God, that's the worst trick question ever. See you back inside." Alec trudges toward the 7-Eleven while Jess taps open her phone. Chapter 4. When Alec returns 20 minutes later, a row of tables creates a jagged banquet counter beneath soft lighting, and Harold and Rose's family chatters while they drink their beverages and peruse the menu. Jess says, "How did it go?" "You were right about the neighbor thing. They all like Wu. The liquor guy can't give away free alcohol, though." "You know how to buy alcohol." "That I do." One by one, the neighboring shop owners enter to deliver their contributions to the party. The dry cleaner brings a stack of sparkling white tablecloths, which he and the servers drape, transforming the train of many tables into one. The dollar store manager brings a cart filled with candles and plastic flowers, which he displays across the new white canvas. He adds colorful, wacky straws for the kids and bride and groom goblets for Harold and Rose. The 7-Eleven clerk delivers lottery scratchers for everyone and several decks of tarot cards, and behind him the liquor store owner delivers 2 bottles of champagne, which he pops and pours. While the shop owners toast the family and the family celebrates, Alec steps into the kitchen. The steam and clamor and bustle contrast with the dining room mood, and Alec presses his back to the wall. Through the mist, Wu's green-suited form works a long stainless steel spatula in frantic circular motions. His eyes meet Alec's, and his grin beams through the haze. Alec came in here to organize the service, but Wu doesn't need his help. Mr. Wu is right where he's supposed to be. Back in the dining room, the shop owners surprise Alec. They pulled their own table together, and they laugh and chatter over drinks, adding their cheer to the party. If the family cares about the intruders, they mask it well. The faces at Harold and Rose's table smile under bright eyes. They laugh and talk, while the kids build one giant crazy straw from many smaller ones and read each other's fortunes. Alec crosses to Jess at the hostess stand and says, "I don't think this could have gone better." "That's because you have a limited imagination," Jess says. "I can imagine lots of things." "How many of them exclude me in a bikini?" "Well, I mean, if you're gonna put restrictions..." "That's what I thought." Jess checks her phone. There we go. It just got better. A moment later, Alec stands alone, and he follows Jess outside, halting one step past the restaurant's exit. 3 food trucks, all dessert, ice cream, hand pies, funnel cakes, and more, sit end to end, filling the parking lot. A pickup truck drives past them, slowing, and the driver's window lowers. "Where should we set up?" "Anywhere," Jess says. The pickup parks and several people exit, pulling instrument cases with them. Alec says, "A band?" "Yeah," Jess says. "It's like a block party." "How did you do all this?" "I asked if you trusted me to give you the simple job." "You asked if I trusted you, period. You were very vague." "Well, it's called marketing, influence. You mention the right things to the right people, and stuff happens." "Geez, your company has this kind of stroke?" "You have no idea. This is nothing." A news van slides to a stop at the curb, and its mast antenna rises into the night. Alec says, "Social media, I get. Regular media?" "Yeah, it's old-fashioned, but Harold and Rose seem like the evening news types." Alec agrees, and by the time the band sets up and starts playing, a crowd is formed in the parking lot. By the time Harry, Dominique, and the others emerge from the restaurant to see the carnival outside, the energy wraps them in delight and forces even Harry to admit they could not have had this experience anywhere else. The kids race past them to the dessert trucks, and the rest of the family spreads into the crowd, where the news reporters point cameras at them and ask about their backgrounds. Jess and Alec admire their handiwork, and Wu joins them on the sidewalk. He says, "You have a family here, in my restaurant. Now there are 3. 1, 2, 3. It's not what Alec meant or expected, but 3 is 50% more than 2. He'll take it. "Best dinner I've had in a long time." "We didn't eat," Jess says. "Good point." Chapter 5. A week later, Alec and Jess return for a routine meal, but get 2 surprises instead. First, in the foyer, separating the sidewalk from the restaurant, an enormous framed photo of Harold and Rose greets them. "Well, that's unsettling," Alec says. Jess admires the chunky frame and says, "The royal family would say that's too much." Off balance, they head inside for their second surprise. The hostess smiles from her stand and says, "How many?" "2. As always," Alec says. "Okay, it should only be about 15 minutes. "Perfect." Alec chuckles at the joke, turning to walk to a table, and halts. Every table bristles with guests. Every seat, booth, high chair, and aisle bobs with heads like waves on a sea. The din forces Alec to raise his voice. "What's happening?" Wu bursts from the kitchen and grasps Alec and Jess, each in their own hug, and opens his arms to the packed restaurant. "This is because of you." Alec counts the patrons and returns to Wu, unable to find words. "Good for you, Mr. Wu," Jess says. "Right, Alec?" "No, yeah, it's great. Good job." Wu beams. "Great job by you. My family. I will make you a special dish." Alec and Jess watch Wu disappear, and Alec says, "You think this is great?" "Of course not. He's going to make us food and we have no table. We're going to have to take our special dish to go." Alec wilts. "Did we ruin our favorite restaurant? Are we going to have to find a new one?" "I think so." "Ugh, I hate new things. Can't you reverse market it and make everyone go away?" "Maybe they'll go away on their own." "We can hope," Alec says. He sits in the waiting area with the riffraff and types on his phone. "What are you doing?" "Accelerating the process. I'm leaving a negative review on Yelp." "Don't you dare." Jess collects Alec's phone, sits beside him, and the two sulk like teenagers. The end.